about to make a smart money move. The problem is half of smart money advice is quietly wrong. Let's look at where you are right now. You've likely got a chunk of extra cash sitting there. Maybe it's a holiday bonus that just cleared, a tax refund, or maybe you've just been incredibly disciplined and saved up a lump sum. Now, you are staring at two very different places to put that money. On one side, you have your student loans. That balance is hanging over your head, a monthly reminder of the past. On the other side, you have your savings account, which is actually paying decent interest for the first time in a long time. So, the dilemma is obvious. 2. Send that money to the loan servicer to make the debt disappear faster. Or do you keep it safe in your own pocket? Most people think this is just a math problem. They pull out a calculator, check the interest rates, and make a move. But if you only look at the math, you might be walking into a trap. This decision is about risk, it's about control, and honestly, it's about how well you sleep at night. Let's start with the most logical place, the math. If you were a robot or a spreadsheet, this decision would be black and white. It's a game of comparing two numbers, the interest rate on your debt versus the interest rate on your savings. Think of it this way. Every dollar you own is like a little employee. You want to send that employee to the job where they earn the highest wage. If you use $1 to pay down a student loan that has a 6% interest rate, you are effectively earning a guaranteed 6% return. Why? Because you are saving the interest you would have paid. That return is risk-free. No stock market crash can take that 6% away from you. Now, compare that to saving right now. You might be seeing high-yield savings accounts or CDs offering somewhere around 4% to 5%. So, the basic rule of thumb says, if your loan rate is higher than your savings rate, pay the debt. If your savings rate is higher than your loan rate, save the cash. For example, if you have older undergraduate loans from a decade ago, might be sitting on a rate as low as 2.75% or 3%. In that case, rushing to pay them off is mathematically wrong. You could put your cash in a savings account earning 4.5%, pay the minimum on the loan, and keep the difference. You are effectively getting paid to hold on to your own money. However, if you have Grad Plus loans, or loans from high-rate years, where you're paying 6.8% or more, the math flips. Your savings account can't beat that. Paying the debt is the smarter play. But this is a huge but life isn't a spreadsheet. There is a massive exception to the math rule, and it's called liquidity. Imagine you dump all your extra cash into your student loans today. You feel great. The balance is lower, holiday. But then, next week, your car transmission blows up, or your landlord decides to sell the apartment and you have to move. You cannot call your student loan servicer and say, "Hey, I need that $2,000 back to fix my car." That money is gone. It is illiquid. This is why, before you even look at interest rates, you have to check your emergency fund. You do not have 3 to 6 months of living expenses sitting in cash. Accessible right now, you should not be paying extra on your student loans. I don't care if the interest rate is high. Having cash in the bank gives you options. Paying down debt reduces your options. In an economy that can shift quickly, options are valuable. Cash is oxygen. So, if your savings account looks a little thin, ignore the interest rates for a moment. Hoard the cash until you have a safety net that protects you. Now, let's assume you have the safety net, and you decide to pay the debt. There is a specific trap regarding how you pay that catches almost everyone. Let's say you send an extra $1,000 to your student loan. You log in, you make the payment, and you feel responsible. But then, next month, you get your bill, and it says $0 due. Wait, this happens because many loan services use a default setting called paid ahead status. When you send extra money, they don't automatically apply it to the principal balance to lower your interest. Instead, they just treat it like you're prepaying next month's bill. This is terrible for you. It means you aren't saving any money on interest. You're just paying the same amount sooner. 2. If you choose to pay down debt, you have to be vigilant. You usually need to check a specific box online or even call your servicer and explicitly tell them, "Apply this overpayment to the principal balance. Do not advance my due date." You have to force the money to attack the debt, not just delay the schedule. And while we're looking at the fine print, let's talk about taxes. Remember that 5% interest rate on your savings account. That is taxable income. The IRS wants a cut of that. If you're in a 24% tax bracket and your savings account pays 5%, your real return after taxes is actually only about 3.8%. On the flip side, paying off debt gives you a guaranteed return that is tax-free. When you compare the rates, you have to compare apples to apples. This usually tilts the scale even more in favor of paying off the debt if the rates are close. This brings us to the deep insight of the video. The factor that calculators can't measure. I call it the sleep at night factor. I have a friend who had a student loan at 3%. Mathematically, he should have never paid it off early. He could have made more money in the stock market. But he hated that debt. Hated seeing the balance. He hated knowing he owed the government money. So, he paid it off. Was it the mathematically optimal choice? No. Was it the right choice for him? Absolutely. When you eliminate a monthly payment, you lower your monthly burn rate. You require less money to survive every month. That gives you freedom. It means you can take a lower-paying job you love. Or you can weather a layoff with less stress. There is a psychological ROI to being debt-free. If staring at that loan balance makes you anxious, paying it off provides a return in the form of peace of mind. And peace of mind is a very valuable asset. However, I need to give you one major warning. Ever feel overwhelmed by your student loans? That huge number, maybe $50,000 or $100,000, just staring back at you. It's so big that sometimes we miss the real danger lurking in our finances: credit card debt. Even a small $2,000 balance can be a financial emergency. Think about it. Your credit card is likely charging you 20, maybe even 25% interest. That's insane. There is no investment on the planet that guarantees you a 25% return. So, if you're carrying any credit card debt, forget the student loans for a minute. Forget beefing up your savings account. Every single spare penny you have needs to go toward that credit card first. 2. Here's an analogy I like. Your student loan is like an annoying roommate who never does the dishes. It's frustrating, but you can live with it. That credit card debt? That's a house fire. You have to put out the fire before you do anything else. This is one of those critical money decisions that almost nobody explains clearly. So let's break it down into a simple strategy you can use right now. First, check your safety net. Do you have 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses saved up in cash? If not, focus on building that emergency fund. Having liquid cash is your first line of defense against life's unexpected curve. Second, hunt down any toxic debt. This is your credit card debt, personal loans, or anything with a super high interest rate. If you find any, attack it with everything you've got. Pay it off as quickly as possible. Third, look at the interest rates on your remaining debts, like your student loans. Is the interest rate higher than what you could earn in a high-yield savings account after you account for taxes? If your loan rate is higher, it makes mathematical sense to pay down that debt. Just make sure when you make extra payments, you tell your loan servicer to apply it directly to the principal balance. This is a crucial step. And finally, step 4. Listen to your gut. Seriously, if the thought of being completely debt-free makes you feel lighter, freer, and happier, then maybe that's the right move for you. Sometimes the best financial decision isn't about squeezing every last dollar of net worth. It's about maximizing your life and your peace of mind. It's so easy to get lost in a game of financial optimization, trying to chase every percentage point. But always remember, money is just a tool. It's a tool to help you build the life you truly want to live. So, whether you decide to save more or pay down debt faster, the simple fact that you are making a conscious, intentional choice means you're already winning. Exploring the why behind money decisions. Without all the yelling and the hype, then this is the channel for you. We're all about helping you make calmer, more confident financial choices over time. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.